Hello and welcome to part 3 of our tutorial flight for the MD-11 going from Vienna to Munich. This is the part where we'll cover the approach and the landing. As you can see, we are slowly approaching 10,000 feet, which is an important mark or an important point in our flights because we have to slow down to 250 knots. As you can see, the airplane is doing this automatically, and we can already switch to or switch the lights on. So we're going to switch the landing lights on, we are going to switch the taxi light on and the runway turn-off lights, and if you want you can also switch the logo light on depending on the time of day you're doing the flight. As you saw in part number 2, we already entered the flap configuration for the landing. You can take a look at this here. We entered that we want to do a 50 full flap landing, and this gives us an approach speed of 134. Now 10,000 feet is also the point where we'll have to switch to the local altimeter setting, which is usually handed to you by ADC. In America, this the point where we switch from standard to local altimeter is 18,000 feet, but we're in Europe here, so it's 10,000 feet. So I'm gonna press the button for the altimeter calibration. And since as you see, there's no change here because I'm flying with clear skies, just as I recommended, and so the altimeter is 2992 like everywhere. So this keeps things simple, just like we wanted for this flight. Okay, so there's actually not much preparation left for us to do. As you can see, we are already approaching the runway here, which is about here, and you can already see the airport in the distance. Now, you can do this landing fully automated. It depends a little bit on the airport and the ILS equipment that is available for the runway. Okay, so if you're experiencing any stutter right now, it's my recording software. I don't know why it does that, but I'm sorry if you experience any stutters, but I think you can still hear the audio correctly. Okay, so as I said, you can do this landing fully automated, but I'm going to do it manually, okay? Because I said I wanted to keep things simple, but still for the landing I want to do it manually because it gives you a little bit of a feeling for the airplane. And if you would like to do it automatically, I will do the beginning of the landing. As you can see on the primary flight display, the localizer is already alive, and also the glide slope is alive. So what you can do right now as we approach the last waypoints of our flight is you can arm the approach and land system. Okay, so it tells you here land is armed, so we will wait for the localizer to be captured and also the glide slope to be captured. I will let the airplane do that just to keep it stable and just to avoid being overloaded with stuff that would be too complicated for your first flight with this aircraft. So what we still have to do is we have to arm the spoilers, and we should also dial the flap selector to 15 because 10 is a little bit too less. So because the next step is already, as you can see, is already 28. So we're going to smooth that out a little bit. The plane is now slowing down just like it should in the flight plan. And as it's slowing down, you can slowly bring out the slats and the flaps. So this is the point. As you can see, this line is coming up, this yellow area, and this tells you this is where you're approaching stall speed. So I'm going to set flaps to 0, which brings out the slats. And as you can see, localizer is now white, and this means the localizer is alive and captured. And I will put the flaps to 10 now, or 15, sorry, I set it to 15. Keep an eye on the speed here, because you want to extend flaps and gear according to the airspeed, because you don't want to run into a stall, okay? I'm only taking over the airplane manually if it's on a stable approach, and you should do so as well. Okay, I'm going to flaps 28 now. And that's the point where I'll extend the gear. Flaps 35. Keep an eye on the speed, because we are it's already at approach speed. It tells me auto brake off, so I'm already going to full flaps. If you want to do the automated landing without having to apply brakes, then you will set the auto brake here to minimum, medium, or maximum. Okay, I'm not going to do that since I'm going to be doing it manually. As you can see on the primary flight display now, we are at approach speed. We have captured the localizer, which is the lateral guidance here, and we have captured the glide slope, which is the vertical guidance. Okay, so these two markers should be here during the approach. Okay. It's going to get a little bit unstable now because I'm taking over manually, because we are on a stable approach now. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to reduce my throttles here, my hardware throttles here a little bit, so that I'm not, the setting of my hardware throttles is not too far away from the setting that they're currently at. And what I'm going to do in quick succession is I'm going to deactivate the autopilot here. And just to turn off the the warning horn, I'm going to press the autopilot disconnect button here so that it doesn't we won't hear the warning horn all the time. Okay, so all right, I haven't moved the throttles. If I move them now, take a look at the throttle setting. See, it's not exactly aligned, so I'm keeping an eye on that, and I'm trying to get it into that area. Watch the speed. That is one of the most important things during approach, because if you lose too much speed, you won't have enough time to regain. If I apply throttle, then you will see a green line in the speed tape pointing up, which means I'm gaining speed. And if I reduce throttle, then you see the green line going down, which means I am decelerating. And so you can already see that I'm too high on the approach. So I'm talking too much here, so I have to reduce throttle heavily just to be able to capture the glide slope again. And as I'm catching it, I have to apply throttle again to gain speed again, because I don't want to be too slow for this. Okay, so we are on the glide slope now again. I have 127 knots, which is too slow. And also I'm trying to keep the localizer, the center line. Getting too quick now. As you can see, doing this manually is a lot of work. So don't hesitate to use auto landing for your first flight, okay? But flying this thing manually is just too much fun. I don't want to miss that. Okay. So we're keeping a pitch angle of about 3 to 5 degrees here during the approach. And 50 makes me, if I hear 50, I reduce the throttles fully on idle, and then I keep on pulling until we touch down, and then I'm activating the reverse thrust. All reverse is green. I'm doing that up until a speed of about 60. And disengage reversers, manual braking. I'm going to reduce speed now to about 25 knots. And I'm taking the high speed exit here. All right. As soon as we have cleared the runway, we will switch off our landing lights. And we will switch off the high intensity lights. And we will switch on the APU so that we have it available as soon as we're at our gates. I'm just going to do a quick taxi here to a parking space. We also have to retract the flaps. Oh, sorry, that's not. You can fully retract them already. You can hear the APU starting. Okay, I'm just going to park just right ahead, just to show you how to switch off the engines. Okay, just reduce speed now. Well, it's Lufthansa cargo. That's funny. I didn't plan for that, okay? Believe me. Okay. Just going to see where the nose gear is at. And brake. Okay, as soon as we've reached the position, we'll set our parking brake. And as the APU power is available, we are going to turn off the engines. And as soon as they're off, we're going to turn off the lights. And turn off the IRS. Okay, and now everything that's left to do is in the EFB, just go to services and connect the GPU and set the wheel chocks. This allows us to disengage the parking brake, and we can activate external power here, and with that we can switch off the APU. So this concludes our quick tutorial flight. Quick tutorial flight from Vienna to Munich. I hope I was able to help you with this, and I hope you will, or I hope it will help you to learn this aircraft in a quick way, just so that you can get your first flight done with this, just to have fun as quickly as possible. That was my intention. I hope I achieved that, and well, until the next time, I wish you happy landings.